Yeah, Shaun King's brought to us today by Mizzen and Main. You know the saying, look good, feel good? The problem is that most dress clothes only check one of those boxes. They look sharp but feel stiff. That's where Mizzen and Main comes in. Mizzen and Main makes classic menswear with performance fabrics, so it's effortless to look sharp and feel comfortable. They actually invented the performance fabric dress shirt over 10 years ago, and they've perfected it ever since. Right now, Mizzen and Main is offering UCSS listeners 20% off their first purchase at mizzenandmain.com if they use promo code LOCKEDONNFL. That is Mizzen, spelled Mizzen, and Main, MAIN.com. Promo code LOCKEDONNFL for 20% off. And if you'd rather shop in person, you can find Mizzen and Main stores in select states.
Hey, Shaun, how you doing? Good to see you. Is it time? Let's get right to it. We don't not a lot of time for pleasantries, Shaun, because the Browns are unpleasant to watch, especially on offense. Well, pretty much only on offense and special teams. Is it time, Shaun, to make a change at quarterback?
Well, let me say this. I know you guys have a lot of guests. Excuse my voice. But I came on here after week 1, and Jay Crawford stopped running from me. And
He's running.
I told Jay Crawford after week 1 that playing Joe Flacco was a waste of time, that they should go to a alternating rotation of Dillon Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders. And he gave me this passionate dissertation about how the Browns fan base needed hope and they wanted to show up to the games and beat. And after 4 contests, you're 1-3, just like I predicted. So Andrew Berry, I'm not going to say y'all should fire him, but what he should do is call me. For a small retainer, I can fix the Browns, because obviously they don't have any idea what they're doing. Absolutely, it's time for a change at quarterback, because it was time for a change before the season started. This season, even though you're really good on defense, had to be about finding out what you have, not just with Dillon Gabriel, but with Shedeur Sanders. This is a very unique situation. I didn't draft 2 rookie quarterbacks. The Browns did.
That's right.
So you have to decide or figure out, or at least have a fair evaluation of both of the young men, because this is going to be a very big offseason. Forget the season. Forget Joe Burrow's hurt. Forget the Ravens are imploding right now. The Browns are not a playoff caliber team.
That's right.
Not defense, team, right? So figure out what you have at quarterback, and the only way to do that is for both of these young men to get an opportunity to go out and play, and not go out and be the savior. I'm not saying if Dillon goes out and has a bad game in week 1, you give up on him. I'm not saying if Dillon goes out and plays well, you sign him to an extension. I'm saying you let it play out. And then at the end of the day, you have enough information to make the right evaluation.
All we had to do was keep Jameis, and we wouldn't be in none of this mess.
The only time. Hey, listen, that's the only time in Jerry Judy's career he's looked like a number 1 wide receiver. True. Was when Jameis Winston was the quarterback.
Hey, Shaun, I want to ask you about some X's and O's. You know about the West Coast offense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, if isn't Kevin's offense kind of based around the West Coast offense?
Yes, and for people that don't understand, West Coast to me means efficiency. It's a dink and dunk offense. Mm-hmm. You don't take a whole lot of shots, but you're extremely efficient. You run the football, you throw slants, you throw flat routes, you throw spacing concepts. The problem is the Browns don't have a lot of athleticism at the pass catcher position. Because in that offense, you think when it was rolling, they were throwing to Jerry Rice, John Taylor, who would take those short routes and create yards after the catch and explosive plays. Roger Craig. So, sometimes you got to tailor the system to that year's personnel. And I think that's where Stefanski has really struggled. I don't think he's a bad coordinator. I think he struggles tailoring his system to the personnel on that particular year's team.
So the reason I also bring that up is because a lot of the times when you see that, you look at the Rams, you look at San Fran, a lot of the times they operate from under center. But we've doing a lot of shotgunning, and I'm trying to figure out why. If we're supposed to run zone read and then run play action off of that. Bang eights is always supposed to be there, but you don't really see people running that out of shotgun, and I'm trying to figure out why don't we do that. But 2 years ago with Joe, they did it all the time.
Yeah, that's interesting. I understand the change with Deshaun. I can imagine Deshaun probably was the one that preferred to be in shotgun. Maybe this time he thought Joe was too old. Because when you're under center now, you got to go backwards, then get your momentum and your weight back forward. It gets harder to do that the older you get, trust me. Even getting out of bed becomes a struggle at times. So maybe that's because of Joe's age. And I imagine it will continue because if you look at Dillon and Shedeur in college, they both were in shotgun-centric systems. The Rams have a unicorn. I don't know how much Matthew Stafford you guys will watch, but I mean, what he's doing this year is unbelievable. He is throwing the leather off the football. Not so much with Mr. Flacco. But the system works best under center because it enhances the play action component, which is how you create explosive plays in the West Coast system. It's much tougher. We diagrammed a lot of that last year. It's much tougher to time up shotgun play action.
Shaun, when you look at this offense, what are some things that you would do as a play caller to get a guy like Jerry? It seems like he's having a little issue with a few drops. Jerry Jeudy, how would you get him and Fannin and Njoku and some of those other guys if you do move to one of the rookies? What would be the first thing you do to give me some of them dirty little cheap yards? You know how you get, play callers, they get 4 or 5 plays where it's just little, you ain't even do nothing. It's just dirty yards you get because you scheme something up one way.
Well, first thing I would do is I'll play a lot more ace than they have, which means I'll have Njoku and Fannin on the field at the same time with 2 wide receivers and then Judkins. And I would move around. I'd throw some now screens early in the game to Jeudy, but have them protected with Njoku or Fannin, a bigger body. I think there's some jet sweep stuff. You can get the ball to Jeudy early in the game. Get him going. I really played a mental game with Jerry. Hey, we're going to get you this thing early, dog. Big dog, we're going to get you the rock. Throw him a little 3-step hitch out there. Like, get him involved, get him confident. Like, so many wide receivers, it boils down to their confidence. I mean, look at George Pickens cooking on Sunday night. We've also seen the other George Pickens, right? When he's in his step. So, like, those guys are guys that you've got to massage their mental space consistently. And I think Jeudy probably fits in that category. But I would play a lot more 2 tight end stuff as my base system.
Shaun, I'm curious with Jeudy. They did it this past week, right? Like, they got him the ball in that first drive. They moved the ball right down the field. That first drive, they looked like a real NFL offense. Flacco was 6 for 6 for 70 yards. Jeudy had 2 catches, looked good. And then they did nothing the rest of the game. Why is it that they often can look good on that first drive and then completely clueless the rest of the way?
Because bad teams are bad teams. If you look at Monday Night Football last night, you saw the Jets' first drive, and then they fumble at the goal line. Yep. And they look inept for the rest of the first half. Like, bad teams are bad teams. And right now, if we're being honest, take your emotion out of it. From a pure talent standpoint on the offensive side of the football, where would you rank the Cleveland Browns?
Oh, it's close.
Dead last. No, 31st behind the Titans.
In terms of talent?
See, like, just pure talent.
Oh, yeah. Just talent?
Just talent.
Dead
last.
last.
The bottom couple.
Like, dead last.
They're bottom third of the league, right?
Yeah.
You got to fix that. You've got to fix that. And that goes back to Andrew Berry. It's your job. Like, people in the organization have to start being held accountable for what their job responsibility states. Andrew Berry's job is to develop and put together an elite roster, not an elite defense, not an elite position group, an elite roster. That's his job responsibility. Kevin Stefanski's job, take the roster that Andrew puts together and get it to perform at its the top of its potential production. That's what they're hired to do, right? Are they doing that? People got to start asking real questions.
I'm going to ask this question. Why the heck is it such a big blind spot at the receiving corps? Like, we're drafting. They took Anthony Schwartz, a gadget guy in a Gus Malzahn offense running reverses for Auburn, over Amon-Ra St. Brown. They got David Bell, running a 4.8.
Over Puka Nakua.
Why is it that the
Everybody passed on those guys.
But I'm
yeah.
just saying, why is it that we can't? Our best receivers that we got to trade for him. Amari Cooper a couple years ago, Jerry Jeudy. Why do you think
Elijah Moore?
Why? That's crazy. The fact that Elijah Moore is your best. Why is there a blind spot with some teams on certain position groups? I could argue that it's the same way with offensive linemen too. But I mean, how can you? If we want to compete with the Chases and the Higgins and all these other weapons, how are we going to do that if we can't hit on playmakers?
I think Green Bay has the right approach. You can find Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, Malik Neighbors, those guys, but they're going to probably cost you a top 10 pick. Look at how Green Bay has collected their group of young pass catchers. Romeo Doubs, Christian Watson, Jaden Reed, Dontavian Wicks, Matthew Golden, Savion Smith. That's because every year they're drafting a couple talented young wide receivers. And now they have a group of young pass catchers that are really, really talented and look like they got a chance to be really good. So I think you can do it like Green Bay does it, or you can, put a major asset towards it, which, is sometimes tough to do when you have other needs that are high priority. But also, if you're going to trade for these guys, you got to go get box office if you don't have box office. Like, stop the reclamation project thing. Like, I love Jerry Jeudy's talent, but he wasn't balling in Denver. That's why they let him go. I love Elijah Moore's short area quickness, but he wasn't balling when y'all got him. I love Amari Cooper in 2005, but y'all got him in 2021, 22. Like, you got the grandpa version of Amari Cooper. Like, if you're going to go into these free agent streets, man, go and get something that's ready-made to be big time, not something you hoping evolves and changes.
Let me ask
or
you,
hasn't gotten old.
Yeah.
Sean, how connected have you been watching the college game? What's the quarterback that you?
Oh, I'm all on it. I'm all on it.
Oh, yeah,
who the guy?
talk. I don't want to take it over.
That's the guy that Todd McShay talked about.
Dante Moore?
Yeah, Dante Moore. You like him?
Yeah, we ready. Come on.
See the
I like
guy?
him as a college player. I don't know that
who's your number
translated.
one?
Oh, John Mateer from Oklahoma, by far. He's hurt right now, but John Mateer is box office. That's the kid at Oklahoma. Yeah. By the way, the kid at TCU is throwing the leather off the football, too. It's a couple guys that people don't watch because they're not in all the primetime games that are having big-time years.
What do you think of the kid from Arkansas, Taylor Green, 6'6" dude?
He's gotten better. I remember watching him at Boise State, and he kind of was in a timeshare quarterback, and then he got to Arkansas, and he pretty much was just an athlete playing quarterback. He's gotten better throwing the ball. He's a long, fluid athlete. It's probably going to depend on how he works out. Shout out to Lane Kiffin, too, boy, because Simmons and Chambliss, no matter who starts at quarterback, but the Rebs are rolling on offense. Maybe Stefanski should DM Kiffin and ask for some plays.
Before Tyvus go, give me your top 5 disappointing quarterbacks. You'd be like, come on, what you doing, bro? This is
Arch Manning.
Who's your top 5 disappointing now?
So here's the thing with Arch. People got to be fair to Arch. And I'm a very fair evaluator. I thought the pressure on Arch was completely ridiculous. The expectations for a kid that we didn't have a large sample size was ridiculous. I think I said it on here. Arch Manning is Josh Allen. Go back and look at Josh Allen's Wyoming tape. It looks nothing like Josh Allen from the Bills. Arch is going to be one of those slow developing kids. It's going to take him a while because he's not a natural thrower of the football. He's more athlete than he is quarterback. But people assume because his two uncles were elite throwers of the football that he is as well. He's a different type of quarterback.
By the way, doesn't sometimes
Julian Sam.
Hey, easy.
No,
doesn't it look like Sean's got a white mohawk because of the light on his head?
Slightly.
Right?
Hold
He's
on.
got like a bleach white.
You about to talk about Julian? Easy now?
Hey, I was about to get a whole studio built, and then I went from every week on the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show to every other week, so I had to put it off. I could save up $1
Steve's tightening those purse strings.
Hey,
Sean,
Julian saying he's getting more confident, and you can tell it. And I think what's the wide receiver who's the OC there? What's his name?
Hartline.
Hartline is getting more confident in Julian. The key is they got to keep 4. Remember, I told you, I don't care how good these receivers are, you got to massage them mentally. And there were a couple shots in the Washington game, even though Julian played well, where Mr. Smith was running naked down the middle of the field and saying, check the ball down. He completed it, but you got to massage Jeremiah a little bit now. That frustration can't seep in.
Lastly, I want to ask you about Fernando Mendoza, the kid from Indiana. Where you at with him? A lot of hype coming in. A lot of hype for this year's draft.
I don't want to believe in Indiana. The uniforms are ugly. The brand football stink.
They're
a basketball school. Like, we don't want Indiana to be good. But I mean, I think Mendoza's a solid quarterback. I don't think he has any shot to win the Heisman. But hey, they put a beat down on Illinois. They went and won a tough game on the road at Iowa. I think they played Penn State and Ohio State in the regular season. Do I got that right?
I don't know.
Not sure.
Shaun, but we know the truth. The truth is, and our fans here can't take it because they think it's a shot at Ohio State, which it's not. Ohio State is a great program. It's an elite program. It might be they might be the best team in college football. They're probably the best team in college football. But the rest of the Big Ten stinks, and the SEC is way better than the Big Ten. The rest of the Big Ten is trash. We can admit that, right? I mean, isn't that true?
No, I don't think that's true.
Okay, it's not true.
I think Indiana's really good. I think Oregon is really damn good.
Yeah.
I mean, what 3 teams in the SEC in 2025 do you think are better than Ohio State?
I don't know. I can't name one good team. I'm just talking out my ass right here. But all I know is Indiana lost to Ohio State by like 60 last year, and they probably will again this year.
Do we play Indiana this
year? I'm not buying stock in Indiana for anything major, but I mean, heck of a job Cignetti's done in a year and a half. Yeah. Coming from James Madison. I mean, he got them looking like a big-time program. I still don't think they can beat the big boys, but he's doing some good things down there. Here's the thing to watch in Indiana. I know before I go, they're really good on the offense and defensive lines. I miss being on every week. Love you, Steve.
We got to get Steve Becker together. Thanks, Shaun. We'll see you later.
Shaun King is the best, guys. We're going to head